Hey Martin, what's going on? How you doing?
Doing great.
Hey man, appreciate you giving me this opportunity to ask you these questions, find a little something out about you, and hopefully our viewers could get some life lessons from your story and stuff.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Tell the viewers a little something about you. Who is Martin Davis?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to take part in this. As an individual, I relish this opportunity. I consider myself more than just a professional in the space that I am. I think I am an asset to the community in which I serve.
All right.
And in part, I think my story can contribute can be beneficial to many people who might be privy to viewing this video.
You're from the city, right? I mean, you didn't.
I am.
Yeah, you're Texas born. You're a Houstonian.
I am a native Houstonian.
Absolutely,
yes.
right. So you know this city very well.
I know the city very well. Yeah, absolutely.
What part of Houston you grew up?
I grew up in Northwest, the Klein Spring area, Northwest Houston.
Okay, all right. And what was your childhood like growing up and stuff?
I had a great childhood. I came from a large family. Was only the second youngest of 5 children. Very deeply rooted in the church.
Okay.
And both of my parents instilled great character traits within me. Ended up taking an interest in a few things as a child. Music was one, but really grabbed hold to athletics.
Okay.
That was my big thing. From baseball as a youngster, and then I moved into basketball in my more formative years.
So generally, most people, I think, if I could say, would look at an individual like you, and not just because of your ethnicity, but because of your stature, right? How tall are you?
I'm actually 6'9".
6'9".
Yeah.
That's not average.
No, it's not.
That is above average.
Yeah.
So most people would look at you and say, man, he could be an awesome basketball player with that height and stuff.
Right.
And for somebody that don't know you, might think that that's what he's gonna do when he go to college. He's gonna earn a lot of money. He's gonna go into basketball and stuff. But here you are as a successful mortgage lender. Tell us about that story about basketball and transitioning over.
Yeah, so that started, I kind of got into basketball a little late, to be honest. So I started playing my junior year in high school. I was always pretty big, size-wise, height-wise at least.
Yeah.
I had a brother who played before me. I had friends who were into the game. At that time, the Houston Rockets were really, taking off in the NBA. And it was kind of like a confluence of events. It was just a whirlwind. I got excited and took up the game. Wasn't really thinking about it taking, or how it could play into my future.
Right.
Just wanted to be a part of the team, be a part of something bigger than myself.
And about what age were you at that time?
This is 15.
Yeah, 15-year-old ain't thinking too much about like what they really want to be.
Exactly.
15 more years from there,
Right.
you're thinking about the right then, the right now and stuff, and having fun and so on and so forth. Okay. And you said you follow your brother. Your brother was pretty much
My
the path.
My brother came a few years before me and played Climb Forest High School is where we went to school, and kind of had some relationships with the coaching staff, and so I kind of, in a sense, blazed the trail for me.
Okay.
And I took to it. kind of that was my, I guess, me dipping my toe into the impact of or the benefits of hard work and the aspect of what you get into something, you pull back out of it.
Right.
And so I can remember distinctly my sophomore year going into my junior year, that summer, spending countless hours working on my game, improving, and coming back ready for the season. So much so that my coach was the one that kind of planted the seed into me that this is something I could do on the next level. And so that was the first time I even thought about college, to be quite honest. And he mentioned the possibilities for scholarships and that type of thing. And so that kind of drove me further along in the game as well. High school.
Oh, that was during high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So from high school, where was your next stop?
So I finished up at Klein Forest. I ended up signing on to play in Austin at St. Edward's University. So that was my first taste of college.
Was it a basketball scholarship?
It was a basketball scholarship. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely. Ended up transferring from St. Edward's to a school called Angelo State, which is where I obtained my undergraduate degree.
Okay. So what happened with basketball? Did you you went to college for a basketball scholarship, but how did that turn out coming out on the other side of college?
My focus, honestly, as a student athlete, I felt privileged to have the opportunity to go to school. I felt like it would help me to lay the foundation for my future. I didn't really think about becoming a professional athlete, and I quite frankly, I was thinking more long term than what I could do, the next 5 to 10 years. I was thinking, okay, once I'm done playing, I want to have the experience in the workforce that I could use to.
That's curious. Curious. And I would say a little bit different, because you would think that, having your stature and the scholarship and stuff, most people may think that, well, if I was in his shoe, yeah, I'd probably pursue that basketball thing because, I could get drafted by college teams or the NBA or so, and that's easy money and stuff. But your mindset was different than the college years. You was thinking
Exactly.
beyond playing games and stuff. I mean, it seems like what could benefit you more in the long run.
Right. The power of the mind is incredible. If I had, I don't really have a doubt that if I had focused my energies toward that, I could have, that could have panned out. But honestly, I think it had a lot to do with, again, my background, coming from a large family, seeing, my parents work and to provide for and support their children. I wanted that. I was thinking, more along the lines of, my kids, having a wife, and, coming home from work and being able to see them on a regular basis.
Right.
That's what I put my energy toward.
Awesome. Okay, so take us into we got over the phase of maybe becoming a basketball player and thinking more professionally to be in a professional workforce and stuff. How did you get into real estate? I'm sorry. How did you get into mortgage lending?
Into mortgage lending, yeah. So coming out of college, I actually got into education for a couple years, and it it was incredibly fulfilling in the sense that I felt I was making an impact on future generations and that type of thing. But it seemed like it seemed like a given, kind of a natural transition to get into a role where I was inclined to get into sales based on my time period as an athlete. So kind of, it just, the character traits, it made sense for me to look at opportunities in sales. And there's a sales aspect to being a loan officer. So I thought perhaps it would work out for me, and I think it did.
So take us back to some of your first transactions as a mortgage lender. Did you find it to be challenging? Did it come easy, or did you find that it's something that you had to work hard to get, or how did it come to you, those first couple of transactions?
Yeah, so it take me back a good ways. I actually started in a call center, and I was in contact with clients from across the country, and this was the beginning of the refinance boom. So mortgage rates were pretty low, and
what year are we talking about?
we're talking early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was to be quite honest with you, it came rather easy. I felt like in that particular role that I was in, it was more about kind of showing up, being present, being enthusiastic, and I had relative success, probably a little more than was good for me.